Ready? Ready?
Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Jeremy and this is my grandma here. So today we're going to be making Joong.
Joong.
If you don't know what that is, these are traditional Chinese sticky rice wraps. What we have here is specially made for the region which my grandma grew up in, which is Guangdong. Now, for this sticky wrap here, we have a few different ingredients that you'll be able to see throughout this video, and you'll also be able to learn how to wrap them together. Stay tuned and you'll be able to see everything.
我話首先咧，去買啲粽葉翻嚟，擺落去嗰個星度，開啲熱水浸軟佢，浸佢1-2個鐘頭。咁然後咧就用塊嗰啲 punch 咁樣洗，即係咁樣嗱，咁一邊，咁一邊，咁要因為佢好污糟啊嘛。如果你唔洗乾淨啲，佢就唔得。OK， 一定要洗乾淨。OK， 咁浸咗佢啦，得啦。咁咧就買啲五花腩，叫做五花腩豬肉，翻嚟切開佢一嚿嚿，你係咁上下大嚿咯，嗱一嚿嚿咁切咗佢，咁咧就洗乾淨佢，又係用啲鹽嚟，用多啲鹽，起碼1磅豬肉咧，起碼用成3羹鹽，醃勻佢，咁就擺喺雪櫃度醃，起碼醃2日啦，唔係佢唔入味㗎。咁醃咗佢之後咧。咁然後洗翻乾淨佢，咁先撈味。我而家未撈味㗎 ，OK？ 咁啊，臘腸啦，一條臘腸切開，即係一隻就咁啊，用2嚿。啲綠豆，啲係乾咗嘅綠豆，去咗衣嘅。我多數係用5磅米嘅，如果5磅米咧，我要用3包綠豆，即係3磅綠豆咁樣咯。咁啊嗱，咁整完晒啦。
So we have the different types of leaves that we're going to be using. This is the base of our Joong. You have to make sure that you wash it nice and clean. We have the twine that you'll be using in order to wrap the Joong. And inside we have our different ingredients. We have our lapchang right here. We have our salted egg yolk.
Yeah.
We have our fatty pork. You'll have to make sure that you have it salted and brined for
about 2 days.
2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
This way you can make sure it has a good flavor inside. And then we have our essence of the Joong, which is our mung bean and our sticky rice. In this video, we will be using a added special of our dry scallops. So what we have right here, this is the wraps that we use in order to wrap the Joong. You can buy any specific brand that you want. As you can see here, this is the package for the one that we use today. Now, there are some different ways for you to prep. However, for our specific way, what we are going to be doing today is we have our already prepped ones, as you can see. And these take a lot of work, so you want to make sure that you wash it thoroughly. 你有冇跟呢個㗎？
跟佢做咩啊？
呢個 direction 佢話點樣洗咯？佢話
I don't care.
你要浸呢個。
I don't care.
So this is what it looks like on the inside. Our bamboo leaves, as you can see here, it's nice and dry.
因為你如果你係佢黐埋㗎嘛，你要即係要揚開佢咯，一塊塊咁樣，即係揚開佢咁整啲水入上整到。如果你唔揚開佢咧，佢黐住嘅，咁你咪裏邊睇唔到咯。
We have our bamboo leaf here, so you'll soak it in hot water for about 2 hours.
仲有係呢個骨咧向下邊，即係要包就要咁樣喺，即係冇骨嘅喺裏邊，即係個骨喺出邊嘅。Okay.
So, and on each individual leaf, you'll see that there's 2 sides. The stem that's sticking out, that's the outer side of the bamboo leaf. That's what you're going to use and keep it on the outside of your wrap. But going back to that first, we want to make sure that after we soak it for 2 hours, that when we take the individual leaves out, we want to make sure that we clean it completely by scraping off all the dirt and all the dust off of each and individual leaf. So now I'm going to be cutting up some of the ingredients, the lapchang here.
Yeah.
So first off, what we want to use is, we use scissors. This is to get off the little stem.
I don't like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, so just a little bit of stem, the extra casing on the top of the lapchang that holds it together.
一個條臘腸分開切4嚿。
切4嚿。
Yeah，就包入邊2嚿一隻。
So inside each individual Joong, you'll have 2 pieces of lapchang, and every 1 whole lap chang, we'll be able to cut it into 4 pieces. So lap chang is actually a Chinese sausage. So you can think of it as just a whole bunch of different preserved meats put together.
咪洗咯，而家要洗米喎，咪洗浸綠豆先，因為啲綠豆要浸耐啲㗎。嗱咁樣，因為佢係好綠色㗎，好多黃色嗰啲，一定要洗晒啲黃色嗰啲嘢去。咦，好污糟！我唔知佢係咪污糟喎，總之我洗到佢好乾淨嘅，洗到啲水清啦，咁啊浸住佢。
要浸幾耐啊？
哇，最好1個鐘頭啦，最少都。我5磅米3包豆 ，OK， 計埋啲材料啦，整咗32隻，試洗到佢啲水白色啦。嗱 ，OK， 咁我而家咧就俾啲水去浸住佢。嗱呢度咧係5磅米嗰啲米。
This is 5 pounds of sweet sticky rice.
Yeah, sticky 你可以叫 sticky rice 係咪啊？又係要洗，不過呢個咧就冇綠色，即係冇頭先嗰啲豆，唔知點解會黃色嘅我都唔知。
So you'll want to make sure that we're washing.
Yeah， 倒到佢啲米白，啲水又係白色咯，整到佢。我打啲鹹蛋。唔愛嗰啲鹹蛋，拎個鹹蛋俾我。唔愛嗰啲嘢，淨係愛啲鹹蛋黃。
And each Joong will have half an egg inside.
一隻。不過我分咗一頭一尾咁啫嘛。啊，到而家要撈啲味啦 ，OK？ 啲豬肉要撈味嘅，因為我洗翻乾淨啊嘛。頭先我醃咗，我話俾你聽，我醃咗2日。
So now we're going to be mixing together different spices and sauces for the pork belly.
即粉。
白嘅。
白色少少，我俾少少嘅啫，5香粉。
5香粉。
少少嘅啫，我唔係用多嘅。糖。
Some sugar.
少少雞粉。
In the Joong, we generally will have a few different ingredients. We have the lap chang,
一定要啊。
Right here, we have the salted
egg
yolk. We have the
綠豆
braised. We'll have the fatty pork inside. The pork belly. We'll have the mung beans as well as the sticky rice. And as an added bonus, we put in these dried scallops.
OK。咁啊得啦，係得嗱，我頭先浸咗啲水咧，佢差唔多係索晒㗎。嗱，你而家搣佢咧係好硬嘅，好硬嘅，搣都搣唔到㗎，係咪？如果我浸佢1個鐘頭起碼咧，咁佢就搣就咩人都搣得開。你而家搣都好難搣到開佢㗎。
1 hour later。
嗱，我要撈咗呢啲先啦。而家用鹽撈㗎，一定鹽。鹽。
你係而家撈味嘅用鹽，
用少少雞粉，1羹咯
，1羹，好。So right now we're just gonna add a little bit of extra flavoring into the sticky rice.
用鹽啦，嗱你呢度5磅米啊，你起碼都要用3羹鹽啊，最少都，係咪
？So we just added some chicken stock.
最少要3羹鹽啊。
And then we also have to add in a little bit of salt. 咁就我撈啊。
佢話你撈，
我幫你撈啦。
你冇撈死啊！你睇你揸嗰支棍都揸得唔似樣。
After we mix in the salt and the chicken stock, you just want to make sure you mix it around, have it all run thoroughly. This just adds a little extra flavor to your Joong, and gives it a little bit of extra.
你揸住呢個嘢先。你撈唔撈得勻㗎，女仔？真係要撈到好勻㗎。
好。
拋下佢，你冇拋死啊？
我唔使倒車。
OK 啦，呢個得㗎啦。
So an easy way to check to see if your mung beans are nice and soft is by trying to break them in half in your hand.
撳到一半咯。
Yeah. So if you can break the mung bean in half, then you're getting there to a point where it's good enough to
咁因為佢已經係索咗啲水啦嘛，係咪？
So what we're doing right now is we're just grabbing a strainer and making sure we get all that water out. So normally for this next step, we would add a little bit of chicken stock as well as salt. But for my grandma, what she also likes to do is add a little bit of sugar just to give it a bit of extra taste to it. And then we'll want to make sure, just like the rice, you mix it in thoroughly so that everything is covered.
咁樣整一個兜，係咪
Okay, so you want to fold it in half once. Like,
？No。
A few moments later.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is fold it in half, but almost like a not directly on top, but give it a little space.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is you can keep your hand inside. This way you'll be able to make sure to maintain that pocket. Once you've done that, you'll want to fold the remaining portion right here.
同埋你呢個低少少，低啲啲。
Okay. And then you'll want to fold it up and over. Fold 幾多？喺度。呢度。邊度？
鋪咁多。
And then you don't want the stem to be too short, as then your stuffing will leak out of the wrap. So you want to just go nice and over, and this way you'll have a nice little pocket.
嗱，咁啊再攞第二塊。
Okay.
就呢個頭咧就喺呢邊啦。嗱，呢個頭喺呢邊啊嘛，你呢個頭喺，因為呢度尖啲啊嘛，係咪？嗱喺度咁樣塞落去。
Oh. Then next, what you want to do is grab another piece. As you can see, this pointed end is sticking towards me. You'll fold it in half, and you'll put it right in.
Yeah.
And this way, you'll have the next pocket.
Yeah, okay. 嗱咁就得啦。嗱呢啲葉咧，我可以3塊葉就可以包一隻，有一啲細啲嘅或者就唔得啦。咁你
on average, you'll take about 3 to 4 leaves in order to wrap.
嗱，你首先咧，滗一羹米落去先。
So the first thing we'll do is put some sticky rice.
滗啲呢啲。
Then the mung beans.
俾一嚿肉。
Now the amount of stuffing that you put inside is up to you. But my grandma likes to be a little bit more generous. She puts 2 pieces of fatty pork. Then she puts 2 halves of
蛋白。
Yeah. And then 2 of the
2嚿呢個。
2 of the 臘腸。
俾啲臘，俾2粒呢啲嘢，呢啲你俾唔俾都得啦。OK， 嗱俾晒啦，咁多樣嘢係咪？臘腸都俾咗啦，幾 make sure 俾夠佢，唔係等佢偷食啊。OK， 咪俾羹呢啲落去。我而家整咧，唔整咁大隻，等你嗱，即係一羹米喺下邊先，就大半羹呢啲嘢喺呢度，咁啊然後整晒落去，再加多1羹米喺度，咁咪得啦，咁咯。你要轉咗隻手，你試下做啊！
你包住先啦，你包完我先包。
嗱呢個如果唔夠，如果我覺得佢細啲咧，你可以俾塊細啲葉落去。細啲葉喎，呢啲葉都幾大喎。今日啲葉真係幾大喎。OK， 嗱咁樣咧，如果你話你難包咧，你可以咁樣圍住佢，裝多一塊，咁圍住佢。我呢隻種好細，嗱咁樣圍咗呢度，咁接住佢。OK， 接咗佢啦，咁啊咁樣整。
Fold it over.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. Get a little bit of twine. And you also want to make sure that this is nice and tight.
Yeah.
So that when you do boil the Joong,
3個鐘頭，3個鐘頭。
You don't, nothing comes out. And afterwards, then you'll be boiling and cooking it for 3 hours. Now, how you want to style, how you tie together, it's up to you. But you want to make sure that's nice and tight.
就係咁啦。咦？
So first we'll do is we'll grab. 你睇住我。
睇住你一羹夠啦。
1 scoop of the rice.
夠啦，一羹夠㗎啦。
And then 1 scoop.
細少啲呢啲，因為呢度得3磅啫嘛。
係咁。
係啊。OK， 係差唔多啦。
2嚿呢個。
你擺得佢好好地。
Then we'll add in the fatty pork. And then 2 halves of the egg.
Yeah.
Put 1 right here. Now you can put a whole egg inside if you'd like.
Yeah, 你可以將一個都得
However,
㗎。
we like to cut it in. My grandma likes to cut it in half, just so it's easily placed. Then we put in the 2 pieces of the bak choy. And this way, it's nice to be able to share with someone else. You can cut it in half, and each person will have some.
你可以一嚿啊，可以一嚿都得㗎。一粒原來一粒兩粒冇所謂
And
啦。
last but not least, we add
你
in
唔落都得㗎。
our dried scallop, as it gives it a little extra flavor. Then to close it all off, we add in a little bit more of the mung bean, and then top it off with our rice.
你呢度咧要整塊葉落去啫，係咪你包唔到啊？呢度行多一塊葉落去咯。
我擺攝入去。
唔係攝喺旁邊。
旁邊你。
嗱，你睇住我點攝啦。
好。
啊，呢度太你唔埋得啦嘛，咁你再行多塊落去。咁樣行啊，我咁樣行落去。你記得邊頭係邊頭。如果你兩塊都喺晒呢度咧，呢度咪變咗尖個頭咯，係咪？你明唔明啊？咁你呢度闊啲啊嘛，咁嗱呢度係呢個係咁樣嘅，咁你咪將呢個嚟咁樣做咯，行佢落去咯，嚇。
喺入邊呢度。
唔係入邊喺出邊嗱，你睇到嘛？就喺呢度出邊啊嘛。喺度出邊，即係你有嘢俾佢咁樣接先得嘛。如果你唔係唔得，嗱咁你用呢隻手揸啦，我就咁㗎，我用呢隻手揸住佢。你唔知你左定右嗱，咁揸住啦，就將呢度嚟咁樣咯。
接一接。
接咗佢，接到佢實，接實佢㗎要，唔好俾佢漏啊，係啦，係啦，接實佢呀，得㗎啦，接實佢咯。
包係咁。
接實佢 ，OK， 咁包住咁整咗咯喎。我嗱拎呢隻手，嗱咁樣接落去，接正呢隻角呢度，係咁咯，呀，你可以啊 ，OK， 嗱你
包得太，
你嗱你睇下嗱咁樣紮佢啦，紮嗰陣時你可以掹實啲都唔緊要噶，唔緊要，你食翻佢咪得咯。
我嗰個冇
角嘅，
角嘅，
係咯，你要所以
我咪揸得太鬆啦，
你係要揸實佢㗎。
我係咪太鬆啦？
我諗係啩。嗱
，So there's no specific way in terms of what my grandma is using.
我手勢就係咁。
Nice and tight. And once it's nice and tight, then you'll be able to do it. And voila.
我呢個靚啲。
你嗰個靚啲，我嗰個幾靚啊。
OK 啦，算啦。
So what you'll first do is you'll
差唔多
fold
一
it
半啦。
in half.
差唔多一半啦，即係同呢度啊，有呢個唔計啦，即係差唔多一半。
A little bit like
1 half.
And then we're gonna fold in the side.
Okay.
Up. And what this does is it creates a pocket. So the pocket here is what you'll use in order to put your rice in. Next, what we'll do is we'll grab one of the next wraps. We'll flip it in half like this.
Yeah,
like this. And place it right into the pocket. This way, we'll be able to add a little bit of length and just make sure that it's a little bigger.
That's what she said.
Now, it doesn't have to close fully because the rice, as you wrap it, will fold it together and cover everything. So as you can see here, my piece is a little bit full. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another piece of wrap on the outside, and this way then we'll be able to wrap it a little tighter and a little neater.
係啦，咁你咧就向上拍佢啊，拍呢度，咁等佢啲米落去，唔好喺晒上邊啊嘛。OK 得啦嗱 ，OK 得啦，咁啊係啦。
And as you can see,
呢度對住呢
we're
度，
gonna fold it towards
揸實佢。
the corner. This way we can create a nice triangle.
係用隻手指啊嘛，咪
And then we wrap the twine around. And again, we want to make sure that the twine is done extra nice and tight so that you'll be able to hold it in. Now there's no specific way for which my grandma does this. Now you could wrap it however way you want, but the biggest thing is to remember is that to make sure that it's nice and tight when you wrap. Okay.
OK， 咁咪擺低佢咯。擺低佢，攞翻個頭先個頭咧。
攝咗落去。
係啊，咁咪綁住佢咯，綁實佢咯，綁個鏈落去咯。長啲都唔怕啦，唔使咁慳。
And we want to just make sure that we knot it.
再加多佢，啊咪等下佢甩出嚟㗎啦。係啦，咁咪剪咗佢咯。OK， 呢個都 OK 啦，好靚啦。
And there we go.
剪長啲都唔怕，係。
Got the.
剪都 OK 啦，咪長啲 OK。Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
And it got the approval from my grandma, and
Yeah, good.
That's how we know it's good.
Yeah.
Here you go. Take a look. My nicely wrapped Joong.
Yeah. Okay.
And thank you very much. And now we're just gonna have a little bit of extra help, and we're just gonna have another helper come on in and help out my grandma. This is a great family thing to do, not just to learn a little bit about our history, but it's a great way to spend some time with each other and learn from each other.
Okay.
You want to see what's going on? Oh, take a look. You see?
Look, we're making Joong. You like to eat it, right, Mama?
你本如果踢到啲，因如果踢到啲電線就得啦。
Okay, 係咪啊？咁樣。
So we'll be cooking these Joong right shortly after we're done wrapping. We have the big pot going on behind us. Now it's all set and boiled, and all the water is boiled.
呢個會遞到邊個㗎？
唔知啊。We'll be plopping these in to cook, and they'll take about 3 hours to cook. Yes, a whole whopping 3 hours. Now all these Joong, you can actually let them cool down after you've taken them out of the pot and put them into the freezer. Each one of these Joong can last in your freezer for up to 1 year. Yes, a whole 1 year. It's a great way to have a meal at any time. You take these out, and let's say you want to eat this for dinner the next day, take them out of your freezer, put them into your refrigerator, let them thaw out a bit, and it'll take roughly about 15 minutes to cook once the water is boiled. Remember, we are cooking it once, so they will already be cooked through. Another tip is that, let's say you're like me, sometimes I don't know what I want to eat for dinner. So, I remember I have one of these at home, take them out of the freezer right away. I don't need to let it thaw. I put it right into a pot of boiling water. 25 to 30 minutes. That's enough time for you to have one meal. You put it in there, you set it, you leave it, and you come back and you have a great meal. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of a mishap. What you always gotta do is make sure that every single side is sealed properly. Because what happens is if you're like me and you have a mistake, you're gonna have to grab another piece of, another leaf, because you don't want it to explode while you're cooking, because then all this deliciousness is gonna fall out. One tip and one thing to remind you is that for these Joong, keep in mind that you gotta have a steady hand, right? I would say after my experience today, this was my first time making it and wrapping it, is that the hardest part is making sure that you have a steady hand.
好多
and that
excuse.
when you wrap it, you gotta make sure you wrap it tight, because if it's not tight, it's all gonna come loose.
點啊？你講唔得啦，唔得
點啊？爆晒。
唔掂 OK， 爆晒。
Jason 係 Jason 個 fault
點解咧？
佢又叫我講嘢，又
講嘢
你
個口講嘢，隻手做嘢噶嘛，係咪啊？唔使佢包啦，而家阻住晒我啊！
Now let's take a little bit of time. We're gonna put it in the pot, leave it for 3 hours, and let's see what it looks like afterwards. Hopefully we did a good job and my grandma doesn't yell at me. Mama.
Goodbye. Goodbye 邊個啊
Everyone.
？OK，Goodbye everyone。
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you in 3 hours.